grooming. Been around for since 2000 years.
Just the other side of the river, and you'll be hustled as fast as you can, because that's his life.
If we had a fair democracy, things like social care would be free. At the moment, many disabled people have to pay for things like getting assistance to go to the toilet or get dressed in the morning, and why should people have to pay for that kind of thing? That should be an entitlement and a human right. So that's what I would believe.
Have a higher tax on the more earnings, and I think the bonuses to over a certain amount should be heavily taxed as well. People should be doing a good job for wanting to do a good job. Now, okay, I understand, the climate we're in at the moment, financial gains are motivation, but I think that there can be better forms of motivation.
What I would change is time, so I would really like to not be having to work so hard to earn enough money just to live, basically. So if I had more time, I would be able to have a happier life, I think. But the way the system and the government is at the moment kind of forces me to work a lot of hours so that I can pay the bills, and it stops me from attending rallies such as this one, actually. So last weekend I wasn't able to come because I was working. It just seems like the world is becoming more and more like that, and I just don't think it's the way forward. I mean, I don't really know how much more time can be squeezed out of a human being, actually. So that's what I would want.
I think one of the biggest changes I would want and want for our society is to look at the way that we value social care. For example, in Scotland just now, we're seeing social care being rationed across the board. In every local authority, they're moving to an eligibility for it, which is literally life and limb support. So there's no support for social support, there's no support to get out and about, there's no choice over what time you go to bed at night. And I think as a general society, if we were to actually ask how do we place value on social care, I think it would address the whole question of what do we fund. At the minute, there may well be rationing going on in the NHS, which there is indeed, and which I don't condone, but it's something that society would feel passionate about and complain about, and rightly so they should. I think if we had the same value placed on social care budgets, then we would have a different response to the decision makers, and so I think that's one of the things that I'd like to change.
People with lots of influence and money-wise that can see that it doesn't change.
What would that change? If you go into work, you earn a wage, you get a wage. You get that wage for a 40-hour week, 50-hour week, 60-hour week. No bonuses, no free dinners, no free travel, and give some of the other people in the better wages. We're on poor wages for these people to get more benefits. That's what I would change.
Well, if I think it was democracy for people, I think that they should have more say in the banks instead of them coming at us, still continuing to thieve off of us, charge extortionate prices off of us. I feel that they're corrupt and they're just in it for themselves. They don't give anything about the customers or the people involved in it.
What I would change for Scotland today would be the education and how they go about doing education about people from lower sort of communities that are more poverty stricken, about getting them in and getting them more educated, getting them the right education.
I would change for younger people more job opportunities, because the big companies these days, they're just not giving young people the opportunity to get in and get work experience. And without work experience, then you can't get a job, because everyone wants you to have work experience to get a job. As an example, me and Nicole can't get a job because they're not interested, because we're young and we have no experience. And we're in full-time education. Yeah, that's it.
Do you think it's harder than it was for your parents?
Yes.
Yeah, we just used to walk into a job, now it's so hard to walk into a job. I mean, there's that many people going for the same job. That you find it a lot harder, but years ago when I was young and just starting to go out to work, you walk straight into a job, and that was it. It was in and out, in and out. Now it's